So hello and welcome to another video from sickmaths.co.uk, where you can find lots of free maths videos for GCSE, Key Stage 3 and A-Level Maths. This one's for A-Level Maths under the C4 module in Edexcel, and it's about integration using a few different methods. There are other methods under C4 that you need to know, which you'll also find in my website. So this video is quickly explaining reverse differentiation. It's actually pointing out something else, but we'll go into that in a minute. And reverse chain rule and integration that ends with a ln, or a natural log, as it were. So let's do the reverse differentiation. Reverse differentiation really is something you know since C1. Okay, module C1. What I'm actually trying to point out is that there are lots of differentials that you should look out for in the C3 part of the formula book. Okay, this is a quick example. Differential of sec x gives you sec x tan x, so obviously the integral of sec x tan x gives you sec x plus the c, of course. Okay, so that's quickly done there. This is important. You've got reverse chain rule about to happen here. How does it work? Well, if you've got a constant times by a function which has got a linear function inside it, then you could do reverse chain rule. It can work for harder ones, but they don't really turn up in the exam, so why teach you something harder than you need to learn? So you've got k times a function and a linear inside function. What happens to it? Well, as usual, you know, with constants, you can stick them to one side and times them at the end. So I just write k times whatever we're going to get in a minute. Then you times it by you divide by the differential of the inside function, which is like timesing it by 1 over a in this case, because, you know, you just got ax plus b. And then times it by the integral of the outer function. Now I've written it in a strange way. I've got f dash x basically and fx over here, because to get from a differential to the original function you have to integrate. So it's just a clever way of saying you have to integrate this function to get to this function. Let's see that in practice. You've got integral 3 brackets, you know, a function, i.e. this function is to the power minus 3 and it's got a linear function inside. So what do you do with it? Take the 3 to one side, you've got 3 times whatever, and then you have to divide by the differential of the inside and integrate the outer function. So add 1 to the power, divide by the new power. And that's reverse chain rule. Why is it called reverse chain rule? Because it's like the original chain rule. Original chain rule is about differentiation, isn't it? Normal chain rule, when you're differentiating, is times by the differential of the inside. We've got divide by the differential of the inside and differentiate the whole thing, the outer function, as it were. So we integrated the outer function because we're doing the reverse of chain rule. Now, finally, we're going to do one that ends up with a ln, but you have to do a little test first to see if it's the right situation. And the right situation is the fraction you have equivalent to a situation where you've got the top is a differential of the bottom times by a k. Now, it's not completely straightforward if it's true. Like, let's take this example here. If you differentiate 5x squared, you get 10x, but you got 3x here. But you can imagine 10x times a k equals 3x. Basically, it's just the difference of the coefficient, your number in front of x. So if you've got x squared, you're in trouble, yeah, or x cubed or something like that. But if I've got 10x here and you've got 3x here, it's only a difference of coefficient, not the variable itself. Okay, that's a fancy way of saying it. So if you've got this situation where the top is roughly a differential of the bottom, except for times by k, yeah, then all you do is k times ln of the bottom. And you put mod signs, by the way. Always put mod signs as a technical thing. Don't really go into it. Just plus C. So it's a bit different to how you're used to writing your lens, isn't it? Because normally you just write normal brackets. But for C4, just always use a mod sign and you'll be safe. Right, so let's do a quick example of it actually working. You've got 3x over 5x squared, and we've already checked that the top is roughly a differential of the bottom. If you times by k, you'll get exactly that situation. So now we know it's going to end up with a ln, and you always ln the bottom bit, yeah? So you just ln the 5x squared. But how do I get this 3 over 10, which is my k? Very simple. K is equal to the top divided by the differential of the bottom. So the top is 3x, the differential of the bottom is 10x, sorry. So 3x over 10x is 3 over 10. So k is 3 over 10. Just put 3 over 10 in the front, and we're done. We're done with that.